And you are juror number 46, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to move pretty close to the mic. Unfortunately, the mic doesn't move very well. So, and we are exercising COVID precautions, so I'm going to continue to wear my mask. And there's plexiglass between us, and there's also plexi between you and where the attorneys are going to ask questions, and they have their own. And with all that, you can, if you find it easier to talk, remove your mask for the purposes of this examination. But I leave that up to you. You can leave it on if you wish. But if you need to remove it to be more clear or because it's just more comfortable, feel free. Couple things before I turn over the attorneys. I'm going to ask you, and you can get comfortable if you want to.
Okay.
You might be here for a while. At least past practice has shown that. First thing we're going to do is swear you in so that all your answers are under oath. So if you could raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that you will truthfully answer all questions about your qualifications to serve as a juror?
Yes.
Okay. And you put your hand down. First question I have for you is, you filled out a questionnaire, and thank you for doing that. It was you gave quite extensive answers, which is what we're looking for. So we know a little bit about you, and that'll hopefully speed up the process. Was everything true that you put on the questionnaire?
Yeah.
Okay. Since it was filled out months ago, sometimes in reflection you realize you left something out or something was wrong, you want to change it, or even maybe an opinion you expressed has evolved a bit. Is there anything you can think of right now that would fall into those categories?
No.
Okay. The attorneys will be asking you questions focusing on some of the answers, and so they'll probably go specifically to certain questions and answers. And if you realize you want to change your answer, that's perfectly fine. Don't think that you should hold back because it's not consistent with what I said earlier. Okay?
Okay.
One of the reasons why we fill out the questionnaire is to find out what information you know about the case. But the questionnaire also advises you not to read any articles or media going forward, because if you're a potential juror, we really don't want you hearing more about the case than you already know. But we also recognize that it's been several months since you filled out the questionnaire. And so my question is, did you inadvertently come into some more information about the case? For example, maybe you saw a headline that gave you a chunk of information. Or maybe you talked to a friend about it, and they talked about something they learned in the news, and we told you don't tell anybody, so you couldn't exactly stop them. Mm-hmm. Anything like that happen to you, that you have more information about the case than when you filled out the questionnaire?
I don't know if it was like correct or anything, but I saw like a little subreddit on like the Minneapolis page about the case, but it's mostly just opinions or whatever.
Okay, so opinions both ways?
Yeah, both ways.
Okay. We certainly should not decide this case based on other people's opinions.
Yeah.
But we also can't decide a case on our own opinions because, I mean, you know something about the case, you may have formed certain opinions or impressions of certain people. But if you're a juror, you have to decide the case based on the evidence you hear in court, based on the law that I give you, and you have to put aside your personal opinions and what you know about the case from outside the courtroom. Do you think you could do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Some people are better than others at it. And they'll say, yeah, I got to be honest with you, I can't put that aside. It's too firm in my mind. I can't promise you that I can put aside my opinions and prior knowledge. Some of it may not be accurate because the media doesn't get all the details right sometimes. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you are able to compartmentalize that information and put aside your opinions and information you have found out before this case?
Like, what do you mean?
Kind of put it aside and just focus on what you hear.
Yeah.
Basically, can you be a blank slate that as you come in here and just receive information fresh?
I think, yeah.
Okay. And the lawyers will probably follow up on that. So, we gave you a long list of witnesses. Did you recognize anybody on that list?
No.
Okay. The length of the trial, we anticipate it's going to be about 4 weeks. If you're on this jury, we'd have you come back on March 29th at 9 a.m., and that's when we're going to start trial. Or that's our best guess. But in any case, when we start, we anticipate it's going to be about 4 weeks long. We cannot estimate with certainty, as you've already found out. Sometimes there are delays. So, can you make that work, that length of trial?
I don't think, no.
Okay, tell me why not.
I was gonna move out soon, so I wasn't sure if that would work out for my schedule.
Okay, where are you moving out to? You don't have to say an address or anything. Are you moving out of the county, for example?
No, just like the same area, but like with a friend.
Okay, so still within Hennepin County. And is this something that you're worried that you won't have the time to pack and move, or how do you think that plays
Like,
out?
have the time for it.
I'm sorry?
Like, I won't have the time for it.
Okay, you won't have the time for the jury trial?
I think, yeah.
Okay. I guess I want to understand a little bit more. Everybody's got demands on their life, and we do ask a lot of jurors to put their lives on hold to a certain extent. And we expect that from at least 9 to 5 that you're here in the courtroom. Sometimes we might even go later. But with that understanding, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, there's a small chance you might be sequestered, which means you get put up in a hotel during part of the trial. But at this point, we are anticipating, while trial is in session, you would be able to go home at night. It's only during deliberations that we anticipate that you'll actually be sequestered. That is, kept together in a hotel until you've delivered a verdict. So, knowing kind of that schedule, do you still feel that you're not going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just too much that you would not be able to pay attention?
Yeah, because I also plan on getting another job, but I haven't got like onboarded yet.
Okay.
So that's like another thing.
So, you're currently working? Are you working full-time?
Part-time?
Okay. And this new job, you already have it, and it's just a question of getting on board? And are you anticipating that that's going to occur during the trial?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of the current plan with your future employer?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that going to be full-time, did you say?
I was going to do part-time for both, so it'd be like full-time hours.
Okay. All right. Why don't you hold on a little bit? The attorneys might want to ask you questions, but I'm going to consult with them first. So, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Counsel sidebar? I'm going to allow Mr. Slisher from the state to ask you a few questions, and it's about this topic, about the demands on your time and how that would affect your ability to pay attention in trial and deliver a verdict. Okay. Mr. Slisher, if you would.
And again, you can take off your mask if you want. Totally your fault.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Juror number 46, I just need to ask you some follow-up questions about what you've shared with us regarding the amount of time and attention you're able to put into this at this particular point, all right? And so if you were to describe, for example, when you say you don't have time to do this, like what specifically is going on that would prevent you from participating in jury service?
Like aside from like the onboarding stuff with the job?
Have you spoken with your new employer about the fact that you've been summoned to jury service?
Not yet.
Do you have any knowledge as to whether or not your employer has a policy or would be able to accommodate you during your jury service?
I'm not sure what they would do.
because, employers can't take adverse action against you as a result of fulfilling your civic duty. And you understand that jury service is an obligation of your citizenship here, right?
Yep.
And so, and as the judge indicated, this is an imposition for everyone who would serve. And so what I'm trying to understand is, would it be any more or less for you than any other juror who would have to take time off for work and whatnot? And so can you, just share with us if you have any particular circumstances that would make this more difficult for you? Or do you think maybe you're in the same position as everyone else?
The same position, yeah.
You think you're in the same position? All right. Would it be an extreme financial hardship, or just maybe inconvenient and something you could probably make it through?
I think it's kind of like both for me, yeah.
Yeah. So on the extreme, on the financial hardship aspect, would you still have, for example, if you had to take some time off work, would you have enough money to pay rent, or would you have a place to live?
I think it'd be kind of hard for that part.
Okay. And when you say kind of hard, without giving up too much about your personal situation, do you have other people with whom you share expenses? Do you live with your parents?
Live with my parents, but like for moving out, I don't think I would have enough to cover that.
But you currently live with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your parents would allow you to continue living there if you had a temporary loss of income?
I'm not really sure what they would do. Because my mom kind of wants me to move.
She'd like you to move.
Like out.
Okay. And so she would like you to move out and be independent, but is this something she's requiring? I guess we just need to know if this is something that you would be able to work through with some difficulty, or if it would be impossible.
It'd be kind of really difficult, yeah.
Okay. All right. Nothing further on this point, Your Honor.
Juror 46, given your stage in life and your age, and you're getting to move out and start another job, and it seems like it would be a financial hardship for you to do this. And so I think it's sufficient that I'm going to excuse you from service on this panel. And so the deputy will collect some paperwork from you. But thank you for being open and honest about your life and what challenges this jury service would demand of you. So you're excused. You're completely done with jury service unless we send you a summons in the future.
Okay.
Okay? You bet.